people don't see everything, do
No, they see what you want them to see. And if someone had told me at the beginning it would be this hard, would it have put me off? Probably a bit.
Exactly.
I thought this is what success looked like to me back then, is that you would then just coast along. The more people that I speak to that to me are mega successful, they're still figuring life out.
What was your why?
My daughter was poorly in nursery. I asked to leave early to go pick her up, and I was told, well, no, it's the first time we've had everyone back in like a long time.
I went out and borrowed some money off a friend on the back of a fag packet agreement, left a 6-figure salary and off the back of a handshake.
I actually hate social media. That's when I know I'm successful. It's the day that I come off it. England is somewhere we don't celebrate success. We hate people that are successful. There's no such thing as work-life balance. Prioritise what is right in any given moment. Unless you're putting yourself at the top of that list, everyone can't get the best version of you.
Welcome to the next episode of Estate Agent Showdown, and I'm delighted to be joined by yourself, Kim McGinley, Vibe Finance. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Sounds really cool, actually. What made you call it
Vibe?
Vibe?
For the vibe.
Yeah. Where did that come from?
One of my friends turned around to me one day and was like, okay, so what's the vibe? I was like, what do you mean, what's the vibe? And he was like, well, this. And I was like, and ever since then, it just stuck with me. Like, I wanted it to be this kind of vibe and that kind of vibe. So hence the name.
Born with a vibe.
Yes.
I love that. And how long ago did you set up Vibe Finance?
8 years ago. 8 long years ago.
I'm sure it's been easy, plain sailing, no problems whatsoever, no challenges. It's a doddle, isn't it, running a business?
I like doing this.
Yeah. I don't have to, Kim, with my nose. But anyway, but the point is that actually one of the reasons I wanted to get you on today was not only did I hear you on the Two Russells,
yes.
One, I think they're probably the 5th best podcast in the property industry. They won't watch this, so don't worry. But and you really struck me as someone that has really sort of put yourself out there over the years. And I think, in an era of running businesses in this current climate, I think that's pretty essential.
Yeah.
And but it comes with its downsides. And I suppose, in our industry, the property industry more so, it kind of works alongside yours. There's a lot more people going self-employed and starting to consider how they build their own personal brand. So I'd like to dive into some of that. But before I do so, only last night when I was on Facebook, I saw your post about starting your own business is definitely character building.
Yeah.
The long hours, the burnout, because people don't see everything, do they?
No, they see what you want them to see, and that's just a glimpse.
It is a glimpse.
Often the shiny bits and the fun bits.
Yeah, and they don't know what goes on to getting a business off the ground, let alone maintaining it.
Yeah.
Which is really good, I think, for a lot of people to understand today, because it's very tempting when people look at social media to think, I want to do that. But actually, you need to factor in a few things first.
Yeah.
So I want to dive into that. But rather than me waffle on, the long hours, the burnout, the loneliness, losing people, constantly backing yourself, but also growth, freedom, and opportunities I'd never imagined. Anything I'm missing? Well, let's start. So you put 10 things I didn't know before starting my business. And the first one was saying I didn't know I'd work insane long hours.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that from where you started 8 years ago.
So I was in the corporate world I grew up in the mortgage industry since 19 years old. So the corporate world was all I ever knew. And I've always been a grafter, always wanted to work my way up and things like that. So leaving my job, and I think a lot of people do this, they're like, oh, the joys of self-employment. You get to pick and choose your hours. In my mind, I wouldn't work I knew I'd work hard, but I did not expect to be working like I did. Like, once your brain starts, and when we first came in here, we both said it, once you kind of reach that level in your mind to go self-employed and you are invested like 1,000,000%, you back yourself, your brain doesn't switch off.
No.
And it's a really hard thing to do. So I think going into it quite naively, I thought it would be this, lovely, getting to a point where I could spend time with my kids. I'd have that work-life balance. Don't even get me started on that. I don't believe in it. But I think it's actually one of the posts, the screens that come up. But I just thought I wouldn't work as much as I had been.
Do you think that's quite a common perception?
Yeah.
Because it's certainly it's not realistic.
No, and it's not what's the word? You can't work like that without getting burnt out.
Yeah.
And also I learned, but you live and you learn, right?
You
So
do.
you, over this time, you cannot sustain a level of working, but it also, you need to go through that for the
Yeah.
business in the early years.
Yeah.
It needs you to be so invested in it and believing in it, because otherwise that's why a lot of business owners don't last.
That's
or
right.
they
And there's
quit.
those stats around the first sort of 1
Yeah.
year, 5 years of small business enterprises
Yeah.
that fail.
And
in
I'm not
those early years.
surprised.
No. Do you think it's because a lot of people do start without really investing fully into the beginning, the early part of the business?
Either they think it's going to be an easy ride, or they figure it out very, very quickly that actually, is it worth sacrificing yourself? Which I will say, I feel like I've given everything of me to my business. But I've loved the journey. It's weird. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done. And if someone had told me at the beginning it would be this hard, would it have put me off? Probably a bit.
Is that true?
Because I had young children at the time.
Yes, you were saying you got 2 children.
Yeah. So when I did this, giving up my well-paid job in London to do this with no clients, no money.
Wow.
It was like a really big move. Like my daughter was 3 years old.
What was the moment? What made you do it? What was your why?
I think there were several factors, but I remember a very key poignant moment, and that was when my daughter was poorly in nursery, and I asked to leave early to go pick her up because they phoned my work, and I was told, well, no, it's the first time we've had everyone back in like a long time. Can you get your husband to do it? My husband was working like 2 hours away, and it was that moment where I kind of thought, I'm asking to go and pick my poorly child up, and also I was working over the years with some amazing mortgage brokers. They were my clients.
Yeah.
I was equally seeing a whole other side of it in the unregulated sector. So there's a lot of brokers that weren't doing a good job.
Right.
So seeing what they got paid, knowing that I had all this experience, I thought, if they're doing that and getting paid for that, I can do that.
So what was your role then in the corporate world?
I was a lending manager. So
you would go out there and sort of...
I'd be in the office.
Okay.
But I would be looking after brokers. Basically, I would be an extension of a broker. So I'd be fighting for their deals in the office. I'd be presenting to credit committees, underwriting my deals, but it was all with property investors.
Total background knowledge there then.
Yeah, 100%. And I think having that moment with my daughter and then having that epiphany moment where I thought, if these guys are doing it, I can do that and I can do it. So better.
Yeah, why not?
With the experience that I had. So yeah.
And when you kind of, do you remember that moment? So that moment you did you get to pick your daughter up?
No, my husband went, and that was the turning point for me, actually. So and if anyone knows me, I am one of these people. If I commit to something, I am in. So once my mind was made up, all the wheels were in motion from that point behind the scenes, getting it ready for me to leave my corporate role. So,
but isn't it interesting, like that emotive kind of reaction to something just clicked inside of you, plus the logic of seeing other brokers doing well, plus your knowledge and experience, and you just thought, you know what the heck, I'm just gonna go and do this. So the insane hours. Yes. What sort of hours do you do then? Come on.
Now I'm a lot better. I mean, I was waking up at the time. I'd probably be going to bed about 10, 11, working, have a few hours sleep, get up at 3, do a bit of work still. I'd be working all around the weekends. On holiday, I'd be carrying my laptop and things like that. So back then, that's how my life was up until around, I'd say, 2 years ago. And
so
even
good sort of 5-6 years. Really.
Yeah, good 5-6 years. I was in it. And also we had COVID and all the other joys, the Liz Truss situation. It feels like it has been very much 2 steps forwards, 1 step back the last 6 years or so.
It's more like a volatility economy, isn't it?
But also great character building. Like
100%.
The resilience, and when things happen now, I handle it so much better.
Yeah.
But so it's been great character building. But now I don't. I just pick and choose my hours, but I work around my energy. I really look at my energy and my levels and how I'm working. So I've got my own way of working now, which kind of works for me.
Well, that's brilliant, because it's a place where a lot of people don't get to because control can get in the way.
Yeah.
So especially when it's your baby as such, let's call it a baby, your business is your baby, it's another baby, right? And you care so much about it and you're putting so much into it. did you ever find it quite hard to?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us a bit about that.
I think the delegation side, I think getting used to the fact that no one will love your business as much as you do.
No.
It's that realization, and actually getting delegation, 80% of someone doing it is good enough.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting 100% for so long, and actually giving freedom to my team, trusting them, and they are amazing. I will say that they're freaking amazing. That now I don't even need to be in the office. I've just had 2 weeks where I had a family bereavement. I was off sick, and the business just runs. I don't have to sit there worrying, and it's such a lovely feeling knowing that it's at that point.
But I like that because, and how many years did it take you to get to that point with regards to, was it the 2 years, the 5-6 years? And then
Yeah.
it's like, you've just realized that actually I need to empower the people around me
Yeah.
because that shows them that I trust them.
Yes. And they know that.
And then you're starting to enjoy the fruits of your labor and
Yeah.
just jetting off to New York at the last minute. I saw.
Yes, I did. Best decision ever. Yeah, I'm very like that though as a
Impulsive?
person. Impulsive. Yeah, make quick
It feels
decisions.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, and I'm
good.
so glad I did that one. But yeah, no, having it at this point now with the team is a massive, monumental moment for me actually. But I'm also not naive enough to think that, things might pull me back and something might happen. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying
And you
it.
should. And in the moment, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, that's sometimes where we don't live
Yes.
in our worlds, especially with our brains.
I'm working on it. I'm working on
Yeah,
it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Your second slide or your second statement was, I didn't know not all family and friends would support me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would resonate with that. Well, I do.
Yes.
So tell me about your experience in that.
I think, and this is very, very well known, I think, when you're in a business or you're running a business, is that you kind of expect the people. So when you're posting a lot and you're putting yourself out there about your business, actually, it's very few friends and family that will actually like or comment. And that's just, and I still don't know quite why. I mean, of course, I've got my mum and that, and, there are people that would still comment and love it and support it. But actually, you kind of would expect a lot
They
more.
support you a lot more at the start.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll admit, you change and you evolve as people, and that people meet you at a certain point of your life and they expect you to stay that version, or they're okay with that version of you as you grow and evolve. And I think business speeds this up for a lot of us.
It really does.
And it really morphs us into different people. And that's not a bad thing. For a while, I thought that was a bad thing for me. Like, Kim, you've changed.
Oh, I've heard that.
But actually, I love the person that I'm becoming and I'm going to become. And I think not everyone can meet you at that level. So they either need to remember you as you were. And then it's just that it's part of moving on life, and just things evolve. And it's really sad, but I've got used to it now. And
How do you kind of, because I think it can drag a lot of people back to that place. So they may get onto the journey of personal development.
Yeah.
All right. And I think you've got to work on yourself more than your business.
God, yeah.
Right. So,
yeah.
And you it's almost like it's forced upon you if you're open-minded enough. And then once you get into that place, you start seeing life differently. One of the keys for me was going to Tony Robbins.
Oh God, I haven't been to one. I need to get to one. I've heard they're like...
Oh my God. So this was hilarious. So I was always a bit like, I was very good at a job, estate agent, done it for years, led big teams, done really well, blah, 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 blah. Got to a point, an emotional situation triggered me to go, I ain't fucking putting up with this anymore.
No.
Right. And I went out and borrowed some money off of a friend on the back of a fag packet agreement and left a six-figure salary and a 16-year career off the back of a handshake. And anyway, 2 or 3 years in and literally burning myself to the ground a little bit, throwing everything at the wall. So successful. I was so proud and it was so important to me. And you got all that support in those early years. But I always remember, so my wife, she done was it Unleash the Power Within?
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of Tony Robbins' kind of like events that he does around the world. And I didn't know too much about that. All I knew is that one morning I had to pick her car up from the pub because we went there the night before.
As you do.
As you do. Left it there.
One?
Left it there. Absolutely. And I went and got it. And then I remember driving it home quite some distance. And this CD come on. And this voice, big, strong American voice. And I thought, what a wanker. I thought, what a wanker. And don't clip that bit up and send it on.
Oh my God.
But then he said something and I thought, yeah, that's me. He's
Okay.
talking to me here. And then I decided to drive a lot longer route home
Listen to
so I could listen to more of it because he'd hooked me in.
Yeah.
And from that point onwards, CDs were in my car all the time, started listening to stuff like Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, all of these, Brian Tracy, all of these American pioneers of personal development and sales. And it was like a light bulb flipped off. So I very much got that into my end of my corporate years, which it really helped me not only to develop my teams back then, but to think there's more outside of the corporate world.
Mm.
So it gave me the courage to go, I need to do this. I need to go and do this. So I literally went to Unleash the Power Within 2 or 3 years into running my own business. And you're walking into a room with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000 people. And you're going in. And I've never been in, I was in a corporate countrywide.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to this type of conference.
Okay.
Where you're walking in and people are fucking high five and
Yeah.
you're on the way in. And I'm like, these guys are off their nuts, you know. But you know, a few hours in, I'm massaging the stranger next to me and we're doing all
That's
this.
brilliant.
It's just, the music's booming through you. You got Tony Robbins there and all of this kind of stuff. And it just felt like for a moment, my trueness had been found.
Yeah.
It's like this corporate version of me that I became, my identity was an estate agent and I needed to look, sound, feel, walk, talk like an estate agent. And it was like the first moment where I thought, hang on a minute, you know, a day, 2 days in, I was like the leader of the groups that were in, like supercharging everybody else. I'd gone from, who are these wankers
to being the top one.
to being, I'm like the chief, you know. And so then what do you do when you're at these events and they do the big pitch at the end with the stacking and all of this kind of stuff? I'm in. Next thing you know, I'm at the Business Mastery in London. I'm in America on a health and wealth thing, and then I'm in Australia a year later.
Work, though, as in, was
Man,
all of
honest to God, those environments were like bubbles.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by people that want you to do well, that want to support you, that love you unconditionally. They're like, come on, you can do. And it lifted me to the next level.
Yeah.
But at the same time as it lifted me away from people that I knew growing up, you know, because I was starting to share more of what I believe in, certainly on social media, where I know we both hang out, if you like. So I found the first few years of doing that not only enlightening on the inside, but also really hard to understand why maybe friends that I'd grown up with, sharing videos of my posts with each other, maybe not kind of buying into my messaging, all with good intention, weren't really with me on that one.
Yeah.
I found that really difficult.
Yeah.
Have you had that experience?
Yes. God, yeah. And I used to take it really personally, and it's taken a lot of self-work to realise that we're just at different stages of our lives. And
absolutely.
This is why when I talk about surrounding myself with the right people that uplift me, and I protect that like on my life now. You know, I keep my circle so small now because of that reason. And I hope I say this in the right way, but I heard an analogy the other day that if you're climbing a mountain, which we are, let's say as a business owner, and you've got the village of people and that's our family and friends, people will either, and you're halfway up the mountain, they'll either want to close that gap and kind of meet you there and support you, or they will want you to pull you back down. And it was a really good analogy of how I feel like that is for a lot of business owners.
Yeah.
But like I said, it is super sad. I can't say that it's easy losing people.
No.
It's really not. But at the same time, it makes room for others coming into your life.
How? Because what I've realised maybe over the years, and it's not that I've ditched old friend groups or anything else. I think I've gradually managed to manage it in a way where you protect you protect what's important to you, and you also appreciate that people are just where they are. They're choosing to do what they do and how they see it. There's no problem with that. How do you protect it though? Like you said, you protect the circle and that kind of stuff. Tell us a bit more about that, because I think this is going to relate to a lot of people.
I trust my gut like a shitload more now. I trust my gut a lot, and if something feels off to me or my energy is not right around certain people, I will put the barriers up. So I will have boundaries now. I'm really good at putting them in. Not everyone likes a boundary, I've learned. There's a reason why I've got Let Them written here. That book has literally changed my life in the last 2 years. So Mel Robbins.
That's it. Yeah, I remember. I think that's what I messaged you about originally. It's just clicked.
Yeah, so the whole Let Them, but actually what I need to get, and I've booked it in actually for a couple of weeks' time, I'm having Let Me, because that's the biggest part. Not only let them do them, but let me do me.
Yeah.
And that has really been a game changer for me. So how I've kind of coped with these situations of boundaries and people. And
because I don't know, I may be jumping the gun here, but maybe I'd describe myself as a little bit of a people pleaser.
Yes.
And maybe quite a lot of a people pleaser actually, which actually brought me a lot of success and a lot of friends. And I thrived at getting great feedback from people and so on and so forth. And I think the difference now, I think that I've found, and I'm kind of feeling like I'm recognizing it in you, is that really you've got to put yourself first. Is that what
Which
you're doing?
Which is a hard thing to do. I was on the bottom of my list for a really long time.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It's because I think family and kids and business, your team, like there's people that need the best version of you.
Yeah.
And now I've realised that unless you're putting yourself at the top of that list, everyone can't get the best version of you, because I'm not the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So I think changing that mindset has really, really helped me. But it's taken a long time to get there. And even now I do still struggle with that. I'm not going to make out that, putting myself first all the time, but I do see it now when I need to stop putting other people's feelings and emotions before my own.
Yeah.
And giving everyone so much access to me as well. It's when the more you put yourself out there, I have learned some great lessons in business about, I've been naive, trusting people. And I mean, I've got stories, but it's just, again, I've got to be really careful with that.
I understand it. It's. I think you do because you see the best in people, don't you? And I think I've found that challenging over the years.
Yeah.
Maybe taking words rather than behaviours.
Yeah.
At first face value.
Yeah.
But there's a few things around that I'm sort of sensing here. You kind of connected a bit more spiritually, maybe, to where you are on your journey.
Yeah, massively. And I don't even know what
feeling and energy sort of thing.
I'm just open to all of it. Energy, I'm a massive believer in. And the spiritual side I've been exploring more. I mean, I'm doing somatic breath work every Monday. I do like a 2-hour session to kind of reset me for the week. And it's a very bizarre experience. But if I'm just really an open person, I will try anything once and say if I don't like it. But if I think it's going to help me, I'm in. I'll try it.
I love that. But I like this perspective on that point that we were just talking about, which was managing your own emotions around maybe how people see you now as you've grown. That's quite a tough thing to, because I think there's to a degree it can feel like you're, how do I put this? It can feel like you're judging them, or it can feel like you're maybe distancing yourself away from them, and that's how they see it, but it's not actually the case.
No.
And you seem like you've really got that place locked down now, where you just think, look, it's okay, let them.
Yes.
And let me.
Yeah.
And I love that element of let me, let them, because in the nicest possible way, if you think about, I'm just getting to your post, if you think about that let me, that's the empowerment place, isn't it?
Yeah.
And do you find that that's something now that it's almost like a default thought?
I wouldn't say it's a default. I've had a few people had to remind me recently with certain situations. They're like, Kim, remember why you got that tattoo? And I'm like, you're absolutely right. So again, I just need to get back into the mindset of remembering it and living by it, really.
So you're going to get a tattoo?
Yeah, I'm going to get my other one because that is the biggest part of it. Yeah.
Well, you did that, and like that's a really, I mean, I think that's a really important thing. So you mentioned Mel Robbins. Is that somewhere where someone watching this could go, do you know what, I need to, that connects with me? Where would they go to find that particular?
I think Audible,
just on YouTube.
Yeah, Amazon, Audible, like, yeah. But I would men, women, honestly, I feel like everyone should hear or listen to this or read this book.
Yeah, good. Well, you didn't know that your brain would be hijacked by a gazillion ideas.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
I just think, like I said earlier, once you start that entrepreneurial journey and you're trying and you're testing and you're failing and you're going again, and it just lights something in you. So when you see something else that might be broken or a gap in the market, you're like, right, I can do that. Opportunity. And I'm one of these people, I would rather try and fucking fail than not try at all. So were
you always like that?
I think I've always had it in me. Yeah, I've always wanted to try things. Yeah, I've never really been scared of failing, but I've always been scared of not trying. So, but I just feel like that's been elevated a shitload more by being like a business owner. So now I've got my other brands.
Tell us about your other brands. So you've got 5 Finance, 8 years in, mortgages.
Yeah, mortgages
protection.
For investors. Just
mortgages for investors.
Working with investors on financing.
Very niche.
Yeah.
Got your client base, got your relationships.
Yeah.
What else?
So then I saw a gap in the market where a lot of other mortgage brokers didn't have the confidence to write specialist finance. And there's nothing out there to really teach them on the go. So I launched the Specialist Finance Academy, which is like a membership program for other brokers to come in. We give them all the tools and resources that work for us in my brokerage. And we run masterclasses. We're going to be doing in-person events. And we've got like the WhatsApp community just to bring the level up in the mortgage industry for unregulated finance. So that's something that has been lighting me up for a while.
Why does that light you up? What makes that light you up?
I genuinely believe this, collaboration over competition.
Oh, 100. That's one of our values.
Honestly,
it's one of our values that we're just about to launch into our business.
I live and
collaborate
breathe it.
To compete.
Yeah, like there is enough business out there. Not everyone is my client. Not everyone's going to like me. So there's just enough business. So if I can help the younger generation coming into the mortgage industry, because it is freaking old and boring, and it's not a sexy subject, let's be honest.
No.
So if I can give them more confidence and help other brokers to write more business, get more money, that floats my boat.
I love that.
So yeah, that's why I launched that. And then I've now got Women Shaping Property. So
is that quite new?
It is very new for me. Yes, it's all on my own. Did the launch event at Sexy Fish in London, and it was just one of those moments where I've actually realized one of my strengths is being a connector, and by the way that I've authentically put myself out there, being vulnerable. Because that is who I am. I'm very emotional. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah, I like that.
But actually women really trust that. And I think knowing behind the scenes, being a 19-year-old all those years ago and growing up in a male dominated sector and seeing and being through certain situations, if I can try to give other women confidence to network, and there's nothing better than women coming together, because it can be such a bitchy environment.
I take it because of the way you're putting yourself out, you're attracting the right.
Yes, so it's more elevated, curated rooms where I'm bringing the right women together.
Yeah.
So and that really, really floats my boat.
Do you feel like that's kind of like, is that what you're doing when you leave today? Is it something?
No, I'm speaking at another Girls in Property. It's a retreat run by another woman. But yeah, this is just purely events, and where it leads on to from there, I don't know. But I've got some exciting plans.
Quite like that. It's just going to unravel, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll see.
I didn't know opportunities wouldn't just land in my lap.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
I was foolish enough to think that in the mortgage industry, I don't know if you know this, but there are so many award ceremonies, like ridiculous amount of award ceremonies every single month. And I sat there at the beginning being like, okay, when's someone going to put me forward for an award? Didn't know that a lot of people, you have to submit yourself. You've got to put yourself forward. So it's things like that. And I think on the next slide or in a few slides time, I'll come on to personal branding, the opportunities that You know, I've had to I've literally grafted my ass off, traveling the country, networking, podcasts now. The rooms that I now go into and the opportunities that I get, whether it's a main speaking slot or being asked as the only broker to support certain events, I used to kill for those opportunities. Like no one knew my name like 8 years ago. So to now having worked so hard to get to this point, I'm grateful for all those opportunities, but they wouldn't have come had I not done it.
No,
Yeah.
100%. And I think one of the things, you know, one of your slides, I didn't know I'd completely changed as a person.
Yeah.
But changing as a person has created those opportunities.
Yes.
So, you know, that's why it's important to hold those boundaries and continue to explore and grow. And you do change. You change. I think the more you experience new challenges, we talked about resilience earlier before, I don't know if it was before we started, but the amount that's going on in the climate, the economy,
it's insane.
It's teaching us to be better business owners. It's giving us, it's an invitation.
Yeah.
Rather than it's actually, oh God, for fuck's sake, I've got to wake up. Oh, I've got to go and do this. It's like, because it's very easy to be in that place.
Yeah.
But actually, if you look at it and go, do you know what? This is going to teach me something new. This is going to give me, it's very hard to have that perspective, but you clearly are doing it. I didn't know business would feel like one massive roller coaster.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How steep.
I mean, Oblivion probably puts it into perspective, being like vertical. But I think I said to you earlier, like, I literally thought, again, my naivety, being a business owner, it'd be a roller coaster. I knew that. But I'd get to a point, I thought, this is what success looked like to me back then, is that you would then just coast along. Yeah. Like, you'd get to that point and then you would just be successful. And but actually, no, like
you'd
the
be
people
bored doing that,
I would be bored. But I'd find something else to do. But the more people that I speak to that to me are mega successful, they're still figuring life out. They're still having to deal with shit all the time. Yeah. And so actually it's forever going to be like this.
I think that's a really, really great point, actually. Certainly when you're starting out on these types of journeys and you see people that you look up to, and when you get into those rooms, get into those environments, and you realise that they've got a load of shit going on as well. Yeah. And they're going through some really tough challenges.
Absolutely.
You just realise that it doesn't miss anybody out.
No.
And actually, if you're really going to grow and really going to climb, you just tend to grow with some bigger challenges.
Yes.
You tend to get a few more knocks and a few more failures along the way. So that's really interesting. The roller coaster of business, more entrepreneurship, I would certainly say. Yeah. Should we get on to politics?
Yeah, go on then. Why not?
What a fucking mess they're making of the economy.
Oh, don't.
What is going on? I mean, I'm in the right environment because I know Rob's not a massive fan of Labour, is he? No, I didn't think so. But it just, is it? It's not just me. I look at the decision making in the last 18 months in the budgets, and you just think there's no way that's going to equal growth, which was one of their ambitions.
I think you can't trust any politician.
I agree.
They're all full of shit, sorry, but they are. And their manifestos that they go out with, it's never going to materialise because, you know, all the red tapes they've got to jump through and stuff like that. I haven't watched the news in like 2 years. I gave up watching the news because I would wake up in the morning, look at the Daily Fail, go to bed at night, look at the Daily Fail again. And it was not good for my health. The only thing I've been keeping on top of is this Iran war situation because of the impact on my business. Just to see what could be happening. Yeah,
and you kind of need to stay informed to a degree.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the news thing. Like I had years without watching the news.
Oh.
And my dad, who loves a bit,
say
to me, have you watched the news? And he's like, no. What's going on? Oh, well, this is going on. Oh, right. Can we control that? No.
Exactly. That's the thing.
It's like that, isn't it?
And this is another big thing. Like, you can actually control your mindset. Like, if you can start questioning your thoughts, and the problem with the news is they will only ever really post about all the negative stuff that's going on.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I used to say that.
And that would go in, and then people would start worrying, or I would start worrying, thinking, oh, my God, this is going to happen. And I think we spend about 95% of our days worrying about shit that is never going to happen.
Yeah.
So the best advice I can give everyone: do not watch the news.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
No, I agree. and it leads me. But there's so many things you can do, right? You can control. And one of your slides says about personal brand. I didn't know how important building your personal brand would be. Did you kind of fall into it, or was it like just, no, this is a strategy?
It was never a strategy.
Okay.
I just knew, having no money, literally I was there one day, no, my corporate job was gone. I was sitting at my desk at home, had it all set up there. I was like, shit, where am I going to get clients from? And social media was the free tool back then. And it is now. Like, it's the most insane tool. And when I hear that business owners aren't on there, I'm like, how are you not on there?
Yeah.
So I just started posting. And for being a female as well, I'll admit, it was easier for me to stand out in the mortgage industry.
Yeah.
So did I play on that? Absolutely. But I would post about my family. I wanted people to know me as Kim, not just Kim from Vibe.
Yeah.
And that, thank God, I started doing that 8 years ago, because I wouldn't be sitting here, I don't think, today.
You wouldn't, no, for sure.
Yeah, the other opportunities that are coming about now for me to talk about personal branding is actually something for me to look back on and go, actually, yeah, it has been all about that. And
do you ever sort of, when you're doing it and you're in that moment, do you sometimes have to give yourself some self-talk?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't say it's a comfortable place to be. And I always say this, I actually hate social media.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the day. That's when I know I'm successful, is the day that I come off it.
You can just take everything.
I will come off social media and it will just be a lovely life. But that is how I'm going to get to my next levels, is by social media and continuing as I am. But doing a quick post, there's no such thing when you're posting across multiple platforms. But yeah, I'm here for it if it gets me to the level that I want to be at.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you know, I think realistically, because of the advent of AI and things which can all appear and sound a little bit fake, and there's a lot of fake news. There's still a lot of people that don't put themselves out there. To be the one that does, and certainly video can give you direct access to your audience, and you can translate your true, authentic self to your audience. You attract your audience. You just mentioned it with the ladies in your work. You know, what you've now got is groups, environments where you just feel lifted. Yeah. Because you're speaking your truth. You're out there doing your thing. I think it's something that, if people really saw it in the right way and they just changed the way they looked at social media, I think the clients that they work with would change.
Do you know what though? We live in England, is somewhere, and Great Britain, that we don't celebrate success.
No, we don't.
We hate people that are successful.
Well, people like the underdog.
But is it Luke Littler, the darts player?
Oh, yeah.
He's a classic scenario, right? They absolutely loved him as the underdog.
Yeah.
In the last competition that he did, I remember seeing it. It came up on my social media feed. The hate that he got for being
successful,
good at what he
does.
Being
successful and believing in himself.
Yeah, and if I'm honest with you, I can't wait to leave this country one day and go somewhere else.
Where would you go?
It was Dubai until recently. But, do you know what? I mean, my heart's in Ibiza. I love Ibiza as an island. It's 2 hours away from the UK, so I can get back and see my family. I love the party side. I love the beautiful side. And if I could live there, I would.
There in June. Lovely. Yeah. The final slide I've got to here before I can turn my phone off, because I've been a bit naughty, but I wanted to go through these. I hope you don't mind.
You have. It's good time.
I didn't know work-life balance wasn't actually a real thing.
No.
And I can turn that off now.
Yeah.
You just get a little bit of energy, don't you, when you just switch on. Right, so tell us about that.
Oh, it's a load of shit. There's no such thing as work-life balance. You prioritize what is right in any given moment.
Yeah.
And not everything will get the best of you whilst you're focusing on that. Something over here. And, you know, for a long time, I beat myself up over that. Mum guilt and all sorts of things. And now just saying to people, there is no such thing as work-life balance. There isn't. You just prioritize what is right for you in that moment.
Because some days you'll have 80% of your focus on the kids.
Yes.
And some days it's 100% focus on the work.
Yeah.
And that's where, if you're in a team like you are, and you understand that,
yeah.
you know, and I think you're right. It's never a 50-50, is it?
No,
Let's
but
be honest.
I stupidly thought though. And I think this is
we're
what
encouraged
they
to
sell
think
people.
that way.
Yeah, no, people, they want you to think that you need to find that perfect work-life balance. You just need to find what works for you, but there's no such thing as that balance.
But you like what you do.
Yeah, I love it.
You love what you do.
I feel like a mental person. Like I feel like I'm crazy for just this insane ride that not a lot of people get to go on.
No.
And yeah, I feel like I'm delusional sometimes and crazy, but I'm here for it.
Do you know what? You just remind me of myself. I do, but I feel that way as well because, you know, actually, and I know it's a cheesy saying, but if you love what you do, you don't have to work a day in your life again. But I generally don't see it as work. Does that make sense? Like before, when you do the 9 to 6 or whatever it was, that was work. Yeah. Because it's for somebody else. Yeah. This is for you, and this is for your family. Yeah. And actually, you're enjoying it. That's quite an inspiring role model, as far as I can see it. But for the ladies out there that have mum guilt, because I wouldn't understand that, right? Because you do get guilt as dad, especially if you're working. And I threw myself into the business the first 4 or 5 years equally, and I wasn't as close to the kids as I would have, if I could go back. I would have liked, but I equally know that what they saw was someone who's grafted and he's never been given a penny. He's created something with that support that I had to build something which has affected our lives in a positive way.
Good.
So what about mum guilt? What does that, how do you get on top of that, and what would your advice be for mums out there?
I think
in that
for me, I just learned to live with it. Yeah. To not beat myself up over it, to accept it. It's just something that you live with. Yeah. And I would say that you're absolutely right. What I remind myself of now is that I've taught my kids so much. They watch and they've seen. I know what it's done to me when my daughter's been like, 8:00 in the evening, Mum, can you put me to bed? Can you put me to bed? This is going back a few years. And I'd be like, yeah, one more email. Well, one more email led to 2, 3, 4. By the time I got up there, she was fast asleep. And I remember sobbing in her room, just being like, Kim, what have you done? Like, what are you doing? But now I just realised, like, we're all messy humans. There's nothing that's perfect.
We're all work in progress, aren't we?
We're all a work in progress. Yeah. There's no perfect life that I don't think anyone has. And I just feel like we have to just go easy on ourselves. Just go easy on yourself. Learn to live with that guilt that will never go away, because we're still living in an age where the mums do feel it. Where we should be. There's still that perception that, the mums stay at home. I flipped on its head. My husband doesn't work. I retired him like 2-3 years ago. Could we afford it? No. Yeah. But what it's done for me, being able to evolve in what I'm doing. But people don't get that. When he introduces himself and they say, what do you do? He actually really struggles now. He does say it, but we are met with that, oh, so you don't work, you're like a house husband. And it's that we're still living in that age. So there's definitely societal expectations that have gone on for years. But if you can just think, fuck it, which I am at the minute, I'm trying to flip everything on its head. Yeah. We're here for a short time, not a long time.
100%.
I want to make memories whilst I'm building my business. So I'm thinking about maybe homeschooling my daughter at some point and just buggering off and just doing different things. And I wouldn't mind selling my house, renting, because I don't know where I want to be living, and just living a bit of more of a free lifestyle.
And you're putting yourself in a position where you can move around because of what you're going to be doing. Yeah. And I think that's a really powerful thing to be able to demonstrate to your kids as well, and to have someone that can support you that way. And you're a team. Yeah. You are a team, and
they get the best. They get the best of us. They get the worst of us, right? Our families. And I'm not proud of that, because I feel like, when something happens, I am a bit ratty, I'm a bit pushed, and you just like, you explode over little things. But that's also something that, you're not just on this journey on your own as a business owner. The family come with you, and you need people that are in your corner. Yeah. And
support it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they're helping you, I think this goes back to putting yourself first. Yeah. Like, imagine if you were playing at the lower level of your potential. Yeah. How would that feel? How would that come across? What would that energy be like? Yeah. Yeah. So, I genuinely think, like, you want to see people reach their potential, because most people don't know where it is. Mm-hmm. I don't know where mine is. You're saying the same. I'm going to float around and see what happens. Things are just evolving. Yeah. And I think that's an exciting place to live life. Yeah. Especially in the way the world seems to be trying to almost like control people, maybe through social media. You just said it, right?
Yep.
I used to go on holiday. I'd done 9 years, 3 holidays a year where I didn't take any devices.
Sounds amazing.
Stupid me. Got to 21, 22. Yeah, 22. I said, I'm loving podcasts. So I've got, I need to. So I bought a little iPod.
Yeah. Put
the old podcasts on there. Not mine, because it won't go in then, Bertie. And I don't listen to my own, honestly. But I thought, and I need music. Because music, podcast, or audio, but I need. Then it went from podcast to I could stick my emails back on, and then it was like, I might as well not bother taking it. I'd take my phone again. So I just slipped out of that. But what it gave me when I went away, a day or two in, you feel like you're detoxed.
Yeah.
Away from it.
Yeah.
And you remember what life was like.
Yeah.
Before the fucking thing. Because I'm old enough to know that I'd never used to have a phone, right? And at Countrywide, they gave us Blackberries, and I hated the things.
Oh God, the Blackberries!
Jesus Christ, they're called Crackberries because they were the first addictive thing you had. You get spreadsheets up on this thing. You can read it while you're on holiday. It's like, I don't want to be at work while I'm on holiday.
Fat though, weren't
they? Fat things with a thing like that. And it. I don't know about you. When you do distance yourself away from these things and you just step back into the real world, you just realise that if your head's in it all the time, you're missing out on some of the magic.
It made me laugh a minute ago when you said you turned it off and how good that feeling was.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like because I try and do it most nights now.
Yeah.
Is to turn that phone off, and the minute it does, and you feel like no one can reach you, and no one needs you for anything, and oh God, it's amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing, and I think that's something that I've got better at with the evenings.
Yes.
That's the thing. I very, very, very rarely look at my phone.
It's like WhatsApp. Jesus, that gives me
WhatsApp's
anxiety.
a classic, isn't it? Yeah.
I literally archive most community chats because I just can't handle seeing it in front of my screen.
you sort of we were tongue in cheek talking about business, and if maybe you would have known what was really involved, would you have done it in the first place? I've written down a question here, and have you ever questioned whether all of this is worth it?
Yes, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't questioned it. And I know how easy it would be for me to go and get a job. It would never happen. It's off the cards. I would never go back. I would just
imagine working for somebody else.
Honestly, I'm unemployable. There is no way. I'd find different things, which is what I love now, is that I'm not just Kim from Vibe. That's what I felt like for a really long time. I was just a mortgage broker. Now I feel like there's other things that light me up, and where that could go, that excites me. So I would never go back. I wouldn't.
For you. Yeah. Good for you. And I feel like that's, like I said about my career in estate agency, I kind of became an estate agent instead of being me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's how I felt. Yeah.
I've got an interview tomorrow. I'm going to London to interview 2 ladies in the property industry, 2 quite loud voices, and they're very passionate about women in our industry. You mentioned earlier about men in the mortgage sector. What's the percentage it doesn't have to be accurate, but what sort of percentages is it male versus female?
Oh God, I don't know what the exact percentage would be now. I'd still say it's around 85-90% men.
Why?
I don't know the stats though.
Let's say it's 80%.
I don't know, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as high as that anymore. I don't know, but it's definitely still male dominated. I think what the thing is, it's in the senior level roles.
That's what we're talking about
or
tomorrow.
Within advisory.
Yeah.
So I think definitely it's just women hold themselves back 100%. The way jobs are advertised, men have a way of looking at a tick box. Say you go for a job, you need to meet this criteria.
I'll look at the first one.
Guys will kind of go there and go, yeah, they're like, yeah, but no, I'll give it a go. Yeah. Women will be like, I don't meet that.
Hard
so
on themselves.
we actually don't put ourselves forward because of that as well. So I've spent time going into other lenders where they've asked me this question. I'm like, but you need to rewrite your job descriptions or how you're presenting the role, because that's what women need.
That's a really interesting point about the fact that they should consider rewriting it to get the language right, to get the, because guys are, I find, and if it's one or two things, they can just fucking nail it, right? If it's any more than that, then there's a few problems going on.
Yeah.
But ladies, I look at leadership today, and we talked about senior levels just then.
Yeah.
Where it is in the property industry, it is maybe that it's the senior level where the problem is. The pay gaps, the bonus gaps, all of those things. There was a Savills article out yesterday on this, and they were not celebrating, but they were saying they made progress because there was a 1% improvement on ladies being in senior roles or something along those lines. But see, I look at leadership today and the skills that are required for tomorrow's maybe employees or people or whatever. And the authoritarian style of leadership from back in the day of the corporate world feels like that's got to be left back there. And actually, the empathy, the vulnerability.
100%. I was so hoping you'd say this.
These are the key skills that I think are absolutely vital in leaders today. So you feel the same? Right?
Yes, 1,000,000%. We've been told, even like women going into senior roles or board level roles, that you have to meet that alpha energy and you have to show up in that way where you're not emotional, you're not, vulnerable or anything like that. I completely fucking disagree. I feel like that is the level that we should bring, because it's a different kind of leadership that a lot of people now need. Look at the talk on mental health, and with men especially, suicide rates. I mean, that's a whole other story, right?
Yeah, it is.
But it's that whole pressure of being the man and, that tough energy, and you can't be emotional. But if we can have more women leaders that really embrace that and bring that into the workplace, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. And it's, we talk about, I was done a video and I was talking to Jonathan from Fine and Country just before you came in. And we was talking about trust and the best ways to build trust and for agents, etc. And listening's like the number one. So if you ask great questions, you get to listen to someone, and then you listen really hard, you'll find out more. The more you know, 80% of the time, if you're listening, you'll get to help someone a lot more, but you build trust.
Yeah.
And I think women are better listeners as well. Now, they do like to chat a lot as well, and I'm not trying to go down there, but what I mean by that is I think they're more naturally curious.
Yeah.
I think with guys, we like to get the job done.
Yeah.
We like to move fast and give us one thing to focus on. So I do feel like listening and empathy and vulnerability and being able to see things from different angles is a real strength, I would say.
I agree.
For ladies. And I think, I'm only getting to understand it because I am a guy. I'm male pale. I'm not so pale at the minute, but stale here and there. That I've worked in an industry that is predominantly at the top, is very dominated by men. And I'm trying to understand it, because a bit like the way Labour are making a mess of the economy, it feels like I don't get it. Like the strengths of leaders needed today, the natural key characteristics, I would say, fit more with a lot of the ladies. And so when when you want to buy a car and you go and get a car and you've never seen it so much on the road, and then once you've got one, everyone's got one. Well, now I've been thinking about this. I'm now spotting lots of female CEOs and leaders out there, and you're finding out what they're doing and what's making them successful. And one's just leaving West Ham, Karen Brady, who she actually done a keynote for me 8 years ago at one of my events. Yeah, and I wouldn't mess with her if I'm being completely honest. I'll tell you a little story just quickly. Sorry to waffle on, but before the event itself, I had to give her a bit of a synopsis of what I was looking for in the audience and everything else. And I had arranged a 15-minute call with her. And West Ham weren't doing particularly well at the time. I'm a West Ham fan.
Okay.
So I thought I could crack a joke
around
that. And I cracked the joke, and that happened. Nothing. She just went silent. And honestly, I was just like, when I was like, oh my God. And then I thought I better get this back to the subject.
Oh,
but yeah,
no.
she's kind of quite scary, I suppose.
Yeah.
But when you hear her talk on The Apprentice, she's just really clear. She's very clear on the things that she believes in. So I think that, I don't know, it feels like women have had to work a lot harder to get to that place because of the challenges of having children and taking time out and those different things. Do you feel that's the case as well?
I do feel like it is a bit of a tougher gig to get those types of roles, but once you're up there, to have someone like that that can speak so clearly, that's used to those mail rooms, which I've seen her on TV, she would scare me. But yeah, I just think
she went right into the heart of a male-dominated industry of football.
Oh God,
didn't
so she can clearly hold her own.
Yeah, 100%. But you know, when do you have many sleepless nights now, or is it less now?
No, I've got used to it. I'm not a great sleeper.
How do you manage that?
How do I manage that? Turning off my phone really helps. So
I hold you accountable to that.
Yeah, no, it's when I do it consistently. But yeah, I've got, so one of the things that what I like to know is when I wake up, what time is it? So I turn my phone over, all my notifications were on there, and then my brain would go. Yeah. So now I've got like my Amazon clock on the side, which is helping with that. So, but yeah, I wake up at 2-3 o'clock every morning, sometimes for half an hour, sometimes for 5 minutes, and then I go straight back off again. But I don't really know what to do about that. But
it's tough, isn't it? Especially when your brain
you think about that one thing and then it just
spirals out. So what is the next? So you've had 8 years building Vibe. That's your kind of main business. Yeah. And now you're branching into new areas.
Yeah.
Just talk me through what that looks like for you moving forward. And I know you're not 100% clear on some of it.
Yeah.
But let's start with the event that you launched at Sexy Fish. Who's it for? Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It's for women in property, predominantly in business, but mainly in property. Curated rooms, experience-led. So I'm very good with attention to detail, bringing the right people into the room. So I'm going to be running more events like that. And I've got something big, hopefully launching next year off the back of it, which I can't say just yet, but I'm really looking forward to nurturing that community.
So you're going to carry on doing this part?
I'm going to carry on doing the events.
How would someone like, if there's some people that are thinking, oh, this sounds interesting.
Yeah.
What's it like? I mean, how do they?
Yeah, so for now, the website's being built. So it'll just be reaching out on my socials or hello@womenshapingproperty.com. And yeah, they can register kind of their interest that way because it's invite only. It's not like it's on Eventbrite and anyone can come. But so it's just getting the right women in the right rooms. So I'm going to continue doing that. The academy, we want to grow the academy within the industry. It's very unknown still. So we've got a lot of lenders that want to partner with us on that.
Tell us a bit more about that. Academy.
Yeah. So there's different kind of pillars to the academy, really. You've got all the tools and resources on Kajabi, which is like our community online. We've got the WhatsApp group. We've got masterclasses. We're going to be running in-person events for brokers. So the lenders, because there's nothing really out there like this, they're really interested to partner with it. And it's going to be one of these things that just continues to evolve. Like, what do the members want and how can we give it to them? So without us having to be in it all the time. So we're creating an AI tool at the moment, myself and George. So George works with me at Vibe. We're now running the academy together. And I want to continue on to grow Vibe, get it really working.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so what I want to grow it to, I don't know just yet, but I want to bring...
employed brokers, self-employed brokers?
So at the minute, I've got 2 employed brokers. Yeah. I also write some business. I try not to at the minute. I've also got a self-employed broker. So I want to grow the self-employed side as well as grow the employed team a little bit more. Yeah. So I'm actively trying to speak to other advisors at the minute to bring them in, to recruit them. And we've got the most insane relationship manager team, like the girls that do that job at the minute. I'll say girls because it's the girls team, not that we want to keep it that way. Yeah. But they are insane at what they do. So as we grow the advisor side, that team's going to grow as well. And I've got Beth, who's in the office, who's my second in command, my team leader. She will help me to grow that as well. So
brilliant. And you talk about investments, so it's they're mainly working with buyers who are investing.
Yes.
So is that like bridging,
development, HMOs, commercial properties? As long as someone's not going to live in it as their main home, we literally cover all of that. Brilliant. Very confidently.
Brilliant. And is that going to stay the route forward for you?
Potentially. Yeah, we're going through getting our full regulated permissions at the minute. I've tried to dip into the regulated space before because it's not my experience and it's not my bag. Getting the right person in to take that forward is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So I would never say never.
No.
I'm just open to growing that brand without me being the face of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
And I suppose when it comes to growing things, and you've now made that step where growing a business, it's growing people around you, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. It's all about the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the right people. Yeah.
Who are the right people to work with you?
Oh God. I mean, I've just taken on an executive assistant, bless their heart, in South Africa. So I don't know if she knows what she's let herself in for yet. She's about to come into my world, probably as close as anyone will ever get to my world. But I just think it's not me in particular. It's just the business. It's living by our values. You know, you mentioned earlier about, what was it I said? And you said that's one of our core values. Collaboration over competition. Yeah. So as long as someone can live by the values that we've got as a business, they operate with the processes that we've got, and they commit, then they will fit in fine. But they do need a sense of humour.
They need a sense of humour.
You need a sense of humour to work at
That's me out of that then, isn't it? So, but so I love that, the values. Is that something that's been around for a little while, or is it quite recent?
No, it's COVID.
Okay.
It gave me some time to step back, obviously, because mortgages fell flat on its face. No one was valuing. So I spent some time with a HR team externally, really honing in on what was our core values. So we went through this process, and what came out of that, you know, above and beyond, deliver together, believe in balance. So it's not perfect balance, but family comes first. The company was born from me having children and being there. So yeah, the values are just what we live and breathe. Nice. 100%. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you're smashing it.
Thank you. Trying to.
No, you are, and it's great to meet you in person.
Thank you so much.
You know, really Likewise. Interested to hear your journey as well, and how familiar it is to mine. And I would imagine it's going to be fairly familiar to a lot of people that are listening. So you should follow, like Kim. I was say me, but
I was about to say you.
A bit bored of that now. But no, Kim, where was the best place for people to go?
Instagram, LinkedIn.
So you're on it all?
Yeah, I'm on all of it. Facebook as well. So yeah, you can't miss me.
And I take it this has been a better experience than being on the two Russells.
Don't do this to me. I love those guys. I love all of you. It
was only to wind them up. But no, seriously. Thanks for travelling up here today, giving up your time today. I know you've got a really nice afternoon ahead.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show, Kim. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Much.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
We'll see you on the next.